Hey everybody, welcome into another episode of the WTH podcast. Hi, my name is Nate, and I'm just getting my headphones on properly. How are you? I'm good. Thanks for asking. That's what happens. I ask myself.
Yeah.
You know what else happens? I turned down my headphone volume and not the volume of the music bed, so I'm like, all right, that's better. Oh, boy, it's Monday. It feels like Monday.
It does.
With me, as always, is Jason and Kareem. And, for the first time ever, Johnny Taylor Jr. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's great to be here. It's great to be anywhere, really.
Right? I want to thank Kevin Fontana for our theme music once again. If you want to check him out, he is on YouTube. Just search for Kevin Fontana. He's the guy with the guitar and the beard. Done. Plug done.
That's it.
Plug done, plug it. I'm befuddled by my microphone placement. I've moved everything and said, everything's a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Next week it's going to be a little different too, because we're all going to be in Studio A because we have the new CDC guidelines and we are all vaccinated. We're all vaccinated here in the room too.
Oh, yeah.
So that's very exciting. Coming up.
Is that what that means?
Swing?
No, it's a TikTok thing with teenagers.
Jason and his TikTok.
How is the effort to recapture your youth?
Oh man, it's great.
Okay.
I got so high the other night that I thought I was in high school.
I love that.
You mean high school?
Both.
All right.
It's what they call a double entendre.
Oh.
Because I was talking about dicks.
Swing.
High school dicks. Coming up on the show today, we've got some dipshits. It turns out, and we kind of knew this beforehand, but Ricky Schroeder is an asshole.
Do it.
Of the highest order.
We have confirmation from him. He videotaped himself being a gigantic dick. And we'll play that for you coming up a little bit later on the show. Let's turn now to our guest, Johnny.
Yes.
Podcast host.
Yes, I do host a podcast. It's called Hipsterocracy. It's part of the Hard Times Network. And we're on episode 30. I've been doing it for 7 or 8 months. And it's been fun.
Latest episode, Cinco de Mayo with Robert Berry.
Robert Berry was on the episode. And he stayed pretty functional. So made me happy. I think the guests were the people listening at home were happy. Robert Berry was on. It's always fun to talk to him. It's fun to have friends on, but sometimes people. I've had some good, really great, national guests on, and so sometimes people are like, "Who is this guy?" And I'm like, "He's my friend. Robert Berry is my friend."
Yeah, just because you've never heard of somebody doesn't mean they're not interesting or entertaining or whatever else. I mean, sometimes those are the best guests.
Do you like puns? Google them.
Oh.
You will see some puns.
I'm going to create a website, create this whole character. I'm going to send it to you so you can say, who's this? Dude, this is his webpage right here.
Oh, I know.
This
that
is the guy.
Be great. Just direct them directly to it. What do you mean you don't know who Frank Lancaster is? Go to franklancaster.com. You'll see some shit.
Fair enough. I mean, I had no idea who Charlie Kirk was until a year ago, and now I really wish I didn't know who Charlie Kirk is.
So many people I wish I didn't know who they were.
Right? But we do.
God.
But we know.
We do. I got content for the show. Johnny also headlining national comedian.
Yeah.
Touring professional comedian, funny motherfucker.
Yeah, I've worked 10 years to be a national headliner, and right when I was starting to become a national headliner, COVID hit. I was working in a weed shop suddenly. I was like, wow, man, my career's on a weird trajectory.
I think it's part of the universe just saying, whoa, everybody just slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I had a chance. I had a job lined up that would have been the job that would have paid me the most money I've made my entire life.
Oh, God.
And COVID hit.
Thanks, COVID.
Yeah.
Thank you for launching me back into poverty.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jason, nothing happened for Jason. He just stayed home.
I have 2 kids, man. It was called I've been stuck in a house with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old for a year and a half.
I will be there in 2 years because I've got a 2-year-old and a 2-month-old.
Yeah.
Oh, you
So-
will be. Hopefully not. Hopefully there's not a new pandemic.
Yeah, it's not the same situation.
No, I was stuck
Or
with
it's
a
not
2-year-old the
exactly
whole
the
time. So much going on. So you've already done some shows here in Sacramento.
I've done some shows.
And I know you've got more coming up. You were talking before we got going. You're booked out through the summer now.
Yeah, I'll be in Colorado. We're doing Denver, Fort Collins, and Boulder next month.
I was just there.
Oh, dude, I love that area, and they have some of the best comedy crowds ever. I'm doing Philly, the Philly Punchline. I'll be doing some shows in New York at a place called Tiny Cupboard, and Austin later in the summer. So, yeah, I'm starting to book the shit up. Wednesday night, I'm headlining at Laughs Unlimited in Old Sacramento. So go to that if you're around.
Yeah, that's the day the show drops. The audio version of the show drops Wednesday. We are live Monday nights. So
Okay, cool.
a whole different audience. It's really weird. The people who watch us live or watch us later on YouTube or on Facebook generally aren't the people who are downloading the show.
Oh, yeah.
But we are very big in India and Australia, so
Oh, man, I hope they show up to the show.
get some rub on that.
Yeah, get a tour offer.
I don't think people from India are allowed to travel here right
Yeah,
now.
I don't know that you want to be booking India quite yet.
Yeah.
A little too soon for that. So very exciting. Looking forward to having you hang in with the show.
I'm stoked.
All right, let's start with what do you want to talk about? We start with Corinne Daniels, expert photographer.
Yes.
How are you, Corinne?
Oh my God, dude. So Corinne is, I guess that's my alter ego.
Sure.
What?
Which is
Who
that your
this
drag
Corinne?
name?
Fill me in.
So I, for work, we did a golf tournament on Friday, and I filled in for the guy who normally takes pictures.
Okay.
And this is how white people fuck up my name all the time. So he spelled my name Corrine.
Ooh, Corinne.
Yeah, Corinne. Just like a lady.
And I would have been offended if he hadn't have fucked up photographer too.
He spelled photographer with 2 PHs.
Oh, so you're just like, this guy sucks at spelling.
This guy's just.
He's not an asshole. He's just hella dumb.
PHOTOGORPHER.
Oh, wow. That's a horrendous spelling.
Yeah, I put it in the show prep. So if you went through it, you saw it because I literally put what was on the sign.
I just thought
In there.
I just thought Nate was like, I was
An
like,
idiot?
Nate's
Yeah.
kind of dumb. I didn't realize.
Yeah, no. And then not only that, they had like 1990 like emoji versions, like when you're in chat, where it's like parentheses, and then you like put stuff inside of it, and like you know when you're like trying to cyber with some girl.
Yeah.
And yeah, back in the day.
I was
What's
asked-
cyber? I've never heard of
Oh
that.
yeah. Well, so, but it was like the 2 parentheses, and in the middle is a smile, and it's just like, come on, dude, like, come on, that's ridiculous.
I want to cyber with Corinne.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's probably hot.
Yeah.
Is Corinne hot?
Corinne is hot.
Is she hot? Is she
She
single?
is. Yep.
She's a hot piece of ace.
That's it.
Probably how it's spelled.
One time I got with her.
Right?
We got to go.
It was the most surprising night of my life.
Exactly.
Dear Penthouse Forum. So, Kareem, what would you like to talk about?
So today, Axios broke a story
Okay, let's hear it.
about President Fu. That's what I call that guy. Who's President Fuck Up.
Oh, okay. Joe Biden, right?
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
He
everybody.
hasn't had time
Obama?
He hasn't
It
had
was
time
Obama?
to get that name. But President Fu was going to do a mass exodus of our military establishment from all over the world.
Oh,
He tried to do it between November 16th and January 16th.
oh, wow.
So he was literally just trying to give back the entire U.S. foreign positions the same way he did in Syria.
Yes,
Makes sense.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Germany, Korea.
Oh, wow. Have you ever watched a guy throw a game of Risk?
Oh yeah.
So like, I'm going to back out of this territory.
Everywhere.
Let me withdraw.
I just want to go home. Here you go.
Yeah.
He sent his bag man, who was a former football player who had no experience with anything.
Was it Herschel Walker?
I think it was his son. And it to a general was like, "Hey, we want to back out of all of these places."
Oh, my God.
And dude was like, What you talking about, Willis?
right?
This
Jesus.
is going to be the first of so many stories like this where we hear this banana shit that Trump was going to do.
What's really funny is I have listened to, because I can't read them. I don't have the time to sit and read. But the Audible books, I've gone through several on Trump, and the last Woodward book, I got about halfway through, and I tapped out. I'm like, I can't anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can you learn after a couple of books on Trump? You're just all, yeah, he's still a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he's an evil moron.
Yeah,
He's a racist moron.
his niece's book
moron.
his niece's book, Mary Trump, was interesting because it was a little different perspective. But it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? And
It's one of those things where when you even imagine the worst shit that somebody would do, he's done worse.
Right.
You think, oh, you can't get any dumber. No, this motherfucker does dumb shit that you don't even think. As a comedian, you wouldn't even think of the shit that he's done.
Right.
and if you
make
did,
it
you'd
up.
be like, I can't put this out. No one's going to believe this bullshit.
Right. It's flawed premise.
Right?
Yeah, you know what's weird? I was thinking the other day, sometimes I'll get this rush of guilt for so many things, but I had this rush of guilt about how much I liked The Apprentice when it was out.
Oh man,
I thought Trump was hella tight
Seriously.
back then. I was just like,
Seriously.
dude, he's running shit,
Yeah.
you know. But that was when rappers were dropping him in songs and shit, and we
That's 'cause
didn't realize.
Look, because that's because he was as broke as they were, and they were all pretending like they had money.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, Mark Burnett did a horrible thing in making us think that he was a good businessman.
Yeah, and it's really Mark Burnett's fault. I mean, if he wasn't a TV star, he never would have gotten elected. He wouldn't even got through the primaries.
Yeah.
Well, and the other side of it was NBC fucked us too, because they gave Gwen Stefani a pile of money bigger than the one they were going to give Trump for The Apprentice. So that's what he got pissed off about, and that's why he ran.
Yeah.
God
He's
damn
like,
it.
look, I'm going to build my image. I'm going to do this. It's going to be a big PR stunt.
I had
Michael
no-
Cohen said it
I had
multiple
no
times.
idea Gwen Stefani was involved.
Yes.
I'm just like,
Every
fuck.
bad thing Gwen
course,
Stefani is
of
somehow
course.
involved.
Yeah, dude,
Orange County. Oh, that's where Gwen Stefani's from.
Yep.
Fuck, dude.
that shit
no wonder we're
is
fucked.
that's bananas. BANANAS.
Jason, what would you like to talk about?
I would like to talk about Marvel Avengers on my Xbox Series X that I'm playing right now.
Okay.
And that it got a lot of shit when it came out. As not necessarily being that great of a game because there wasn't a lot of missions and there's not a pay to play type of thing with these loot boxes that come out that there's been a lot of talk about and shit about gives you but it's serialized. So every couple of months they're dropping a whole new 3 or 4 levels of a new character. So they've had 2 Hawkeyes, Kate Bishop, who is Hawkeye, Scarlet's gonna Black Widow is coming out. So there's they're gonna have one with Black Panther. So there's all this stuff that they're adding to this game constantly, and also another thing too is that because the graphics are so amazing on these new consoles, sometimes shit just looks the same. It's a video game. There's some they can't make everything look completely different when you're in a closed kind of setting. The edges are going to look all similar.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just sometimes I think we live in this period of time, especially with software, where we expect something to be 100%. For some reason we expect it, but never in my whole life have I ever really had a piece of software during the internet age that didn't need to update.
Right.
You know, I mean, and these people get pissed off and oh, there's a 1 gigabyte update. Yeah, man, there's fucking 900. There's 90 gigabytes on this shit.
Yeah.
There's this is a 60. This is a 60 gigabyte game, and they have to update a gigabyte. That's 1/60th.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the best things about having newer consoles and the internet as a large is you're getting shit updated almost in real time. If you're a sports gamer, you're getting rosters updated as they happen, which is super dope. But yeah, I think downloadable, and I think you're right. The graphics have gotten so good now that it's almost like they suck. It's so clean that you're like, man, can you just make it look like a cartoon, kind of
Yeah.
It's
It's like having an album versus a CD. It's
Right.
okay, I want the static.
Right. Yeah, it's like this doesn't pop enough.
That's one of the things that was really cool about Cyberpunk on the PS5 and the Series X at least, and PC, was the fact that there was like just a cinematic mode. Like it was the way that it was originally. Like it's not, while it is HDR and 4K and stuff like that, it is made to look like, a movie more than just, And so like that's it. Like adding the effects is the thing.
And here's the other thing. Take your ass to Best Buy and you can buy a fucking external hard drive, a 4 terabyte external hard drive for $100.
I have one. Yeah, I got one too. That was my biggest complaint about the PS5 was I was like, man, there's no fucking room for this shit.
Yeah.
And then you go buy a couple terabytes and it plays the PS4 games so clean right off the hard drive. You can almost tell not any difference at all. So
yeah, and I mean, external hard drives are cheap as shit.
They're cheap, $100.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnny, do you have anything you want to talk about? Anything you need to get off your chest?
Oh, let's talk. I've kind of, this has been kind of a thing on my podcast, but I'd like to talk about Shark Tank. And
okay, good. I'm in. I watch Shark Tank.
Yeah,
it's
every week.
literally I've watched over the pandemic probably 200 episodes of Shark Tank. My girlfriend, shout out Alicia, we just will watch old seasons, new seasons, 6, 7, 8 in a row sometimes, and so much so that I've gotten like in their heads. I think a little bit. You know what I mean? And I don't know. This has been on my mind. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Damon John of FUBU fame, one of my favorite sharks. When he's on there, he started doing this thing during one season. I think it was season 7, where he would like almost do like a little rhyme, or like it was like like a nursery rhyme, and then say, and for those reasons I'm out. Like he'd be like, hickory dickory dock, and for those reasons I'm out. And I'm like, I can't believe that. Do they realize he's doing this? Like, are they telling him this is fine to do? It's just crazy.
No, it's white guilt. That is white guilt.
Yeah,
in
they're like,
action.
just let Damon do what he does.
Yeah, don't correct him. Don't correct him. They'll think we're racist.
Damon's
So
cool.
fucking funny.
Every Friday on his Instagram page, he sends out like a check-in, and he'll actually answer whatever.
Oh,
you put in.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I will go to Damon John's Instagram and fucking ask him a question.
And he answers like, it might not be like right when you put it in there, but during the day he will answer your question.
I'm like, why was there that one season where you were like, Jack and Jill went up the hill, and for those reasons I'm out? Like, why were you doing that?
Oh.
It was tripping me out. So I just wanted to talk about Shark Tank.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. The one thing I noticed about Shark Tank, because we watch it on Hulu, so the splash screen is a screen grab from season 1, and Robert Herjavec.
Yeah, he's got that. He looks young
and
intense.
he looks super young, and he has aged. No one else, no other shark has aged.
I know
all.
I know the exact screen you're talking about. Every time I'm
Right?
like, look
Yeah.
at Robert Herjavec's handsome ass,
Yeah.
looking like a young man.
And then like it goes into HD. You're like, whoa!
Everybody else looks exactly the same. The ladies look the same. Cuban looks the same. Robert aged like he's the president of the United States.
They got a new makeup artist for him during this seasons.
Every time the Shark Tank theme comes on, my girlfriend and I look at each other and be, Robert Herjavec, son of an immigrant factory worker. Because they say that every time. Robert Herjavec, son of an immigrant factory worker. And look how far he's come. He's but he's poor. He's poor compared to the other sharks.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban is shits on the rest of the sharks,
Right?
as far as money goes.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have the dude from Kind Bars, and he's almost as rich as Mark Cuban, but he's about $1 billion off stuff.
right?
It's nuts.
Yeah, they have the guest shark every now and then. It's Alex Rodriguez, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck that piker.
And he's like, he's literally like one of the biggest cheats in the history of professional sports, but not canceled at all. He's just like
No, he's there.
investing in fucking baby wipes.
I think he has a real estate deal that's going to catch up with him soon.
I'm sure. If he doesn't, I would be shocked.
I mean, hey, listen. One thing that will always catch up to you is somewhere where you fudge something with your real estate.
Yes, he has a real
talk.
estate deal that I read about with somebody that is going to catch up with him soon.
I mean, look how bad things got for Trump. Oh wait,
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, nothing happened.
nothing happened to him. We lost New Jack this past week. Professional wrestler Jerome Young, also known as New Jack, came to fame in ECW. He died at 58 of a heart attack. His family announced that. If you have not seen Dark Side of the Ring with New Jack, that is must watch TV because he's crazy.
Yeah, that's real.
And not like, oh, he's crazy. No, he will cut you. He's crazy.
Yeah, terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying. The incidents that dude had in the ring. So he perceived that he was slighted in the ring once and nearly killed the dude next time. Like, literally, because there's a lot of talk in professional wrestling. Oh, we're having a street fight. It's a street fight. No. New Jack, it was a street fight.
Yeah, and he would he would take a fork in there and just be like, taking a fork to the dome, dude. Like, I know it's going to hurt worse than we talked about.
Oh my God. It's the worst thing I've seen until I saw the latest Dark Side of the Ring with the guy who is the king of the death match.
Oh, with Nick Gage.
Nick Gage.
Yeah.
Cutting people open with a pizza cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting the pizza cutter in their mouth. What he did to David Arquette.
Oh my God. He almost killed him.
Right?
He opened up an artery in his neck.
Who was the dude that got killed in Puerto Rico?
Bruiser Brody.
Bruiser Brody. Yeah, that dude was crazy.
Oh, yeah. And they covered Bruiser Brody on the Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, I watched that one.
That was the first one.
Some of those are the most captivating hours of television. Some of them they're hit and miss, but man, when you get a good one, they're really fucking good.
Yeah, those guys have done a really great job, and they're just starting to really understand how to do it right, and get everything squared away and talk to people. It's just two wrestling fans from Canada.
Yeah.
And they've been able to swing this whole thing and make it happen. And the Bruiser Brody one was really their demo that they went out.
Spec pilot.
Yeah, because they were trying to sell the idea and no one would buy the idea. And they're like, well, fuck it. We'll just go and make it. And man, the Bruiser Brody one, Abdullah the Butcher.
That guy.
Oh, yeah. Legend.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Abdullah the Butcher, if you can find a picture of him, he and New Jack, same forehead.
Yeah.
With the cuts.
Abdullah had like some serious deep shit in his head.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the TMZ photo.
Him too, him and Bruiser Brody are always bloody.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like Dusty Rhodes back in the day used to be like that.
Yeah, Crimson Mask.
And that dude would bleed.
I used to fucking love Dusty Rhodes when I was a kid.
Oh, me too.
Oh my God, one of my faves.
I didn't, because unfortunately by the time I got to see Dusty Rhodes, because we didn't have cable, he was wearing the yellow polka dots in WWF, and I'm like, who's this fucking clown?
That's the only Dusty Rhodes I know.
Yeah, exactly.
They
did him dirty. They did him dirty.
Oh man, that elbow.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
no, Dusty back in the day was
when he was feuding with the Four Horsemen.
Yes.
And cutting the Hard Times promo, dude, he was.
Well,
beating Ric Flair's ass out of the ring.
Oh yeah.
Out of his suits.
There was a brief period where one of my friends had there was Penthouse magazines, but he also had these wrestling magazines that he wasn't supposed to have that were hella bloody.
And he beat off to both of them.
Kid's in jail now.
I was like, is that kid me?
But I just remember I remember Dusty Rhodes being in there, so I knew that he must have been a badass. But yeah, what I saw was
yeah, it was kind of corny. That WWF gimmick was bad.
I didn't even know that. I'm glad I didn't even see that.
Oh yeah,
man, Dusty and it was before the NWA. Gordon Solie. Remember?
Oh yeah.
With Gordon Solie.
Yeah, he was in Florida Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, that was shit there.
Yeah, he cut this Hard Times promo. If you're out there and you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. But it's one of the best wrestling promos of all time. He's like, my belly's a little big, my honey's a little big, but I'm bad, baby, and they know I'm bad. I'm like, that is what the fuck is up? That was inspirational to me.
With his perm.
Oh man,
blonde perm. Yes.
Here is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Dusty, your fans welcome you back, man.
First of all, I would like to thank the many fans throughout this country that wrote cards and letters to Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, while I was down. Secondly, I want to thank Jim Crockett Promotions for waiting and taking the time, because I know how important it was. Starrcade 85 it is to the wrestling fans, it is to Jim Crockett Promotions. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. with that weight, got what I wanted. Ric Flair, the world's heavyweight champion. I don't have to say a lot more about the way I feel about Ric Flair. No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place. He put hard times on Dusty Rhodes and his family.
Yes.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work and got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times are when the auto workers are out of work and they tell them go home. And hard times are when a man has worked at a job 30 years. 30 years. They give him a watch, kick him in the butt, and say, hey, a computer took your place, Daddy. That's hard time. That's hard time. And Ric Flair, you put hard times on this country by taking Dusty Rhodes out. That's hard time.
Yes.
That is hard times. October 29th, 1985. Go ahead and check the rest of that out.
Oh, man.
Goosebumps to this day.
Yes.
Goosebumps.
His wardrobe is amazing. He is wearing a 3-piece suit on top, gray pinstripes, but with a salmon-colored shirt, a blue tie, and faded blue jeans on the bottom.
That's it.
And he has the most spectacular perm.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was peak 80s. Peak 80s.
Yeah, curly Q.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things they talk about with Vince, right? Like he started going out and buying all these guys because like I remember Ric Flair as
the Nature Boy.
the nation, right? Yeah, but I mean like also like yeah, I don't know a whole lot about.
I used to go see all of them cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they used to come to town, and then so between Greenville, Greensboro, and Raleigh, we would catch them at one of those 3 places anytime they came in.
Yeah, those old Georgia and the Georgia territories. Then ultimately became the NWA. Those were right down there.
And yeah, Vince bought. You can watch them all on the WWE Network, which is now on Peacock.
All right. Well,
Which
unpaid advert.
Right? It's so weird. Like I unsubscribed because I just tuned out from wrestling at a certain point, especially WWE. Right around the start of the pandemic, I was still watching AEW a little bit, and I still peek in at it every now and then. But WWE was just they reached peak jive for me at that point, and I was like
insufferable.
I'm like, I can't anymore. Yeah. I can't. And
AEW is still good though.
It really is.
I watch it every week.
They've got their big Double or Nothing pay-per-view coming up.
So, dude, I saw Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas together.
That's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Tag team champs, WWF back in the day. 82, 83.
Tony Atlas in that Bruiser Brody documentary. Oh, my God. My heart broke for that guy.
Yeah.
If you ever
assuming he's telling the truth.
If you ever want to watch Tony Atlas, this amazing interview where he talks about how he likes to his big kink. You know, they'd all go out and they get prostitutes and stuff. And Tony Atlas's big kink was having a girl walk on his back in high heels. And he's like, I can't really call anybody a freak because that's my kink. I was like, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair, Tony.
Honesty is a good policy.
Yeah, he was not into kink shaming. He knew what was up.
And Ricky Steamboat beat Ric Flair out of his suit.
Oh yeah,
strip him naked under the ring.
Yeah.
See, so these guys by the time I got them in the WWF, like it was watered down and like Hollywoodified. It was like
no, the cats were.
I mean, because like it was Ricky the Steamboat, right? Like
yeah,
but like
no, it's Ricky the Dragon.
Just
Steamboat,
call him
not Ricky the Steamboat.
Ricky the Steamboat.
Hi, I'm Ricky the Steamboat.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But I remember him like he had like what was like a kung fu like type of thing in the WWF.
It was like Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
trying to be Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
but he started out for the tag team was Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood.
Yeah.
All right.
Old wrestling. I could talk about it for 2 hours straight.
Welcome to WTF Wrestling.
Welcome to our new podcast where we talk wrestling. People in India love this. The Great Khali, not great.
That's true.
Discuss. Bill Gates. A new word about Bill Gates. He apparently was asking out chicks at work. Whoops.
I mean,
whoops. While he was married, he scored at least once during his marriage Although the report in the New York
he scored when he got married too.
Right, of course. But according to the story in the New York Times, he was not creepy about it. It wasn't like Harvey Weinstein being like, hey, you better do this. It was like, hey, if you're interested, let's do this. And if it makes you uncomfortable, forget it happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's all, you'll see the check in your mailbox.
I apologize.
Well, the one chick in the report, apparently she got mad because he wouldn't tell that they were doing it. And so she broke it off because he wouldn't tell his wife. Yes, we're having sex. Oh, like what did you expect?
How was he pitching it? I wonder. Was he like, I kind of got an open thing?
Yeah. Can I have a like?
It was in an Outlook email.
Yeah.
I mean,
that little fucking paper clip came out.
Clippy. God damn it, Clippy.
it looks like you're trying to have an extramarital affair. Can I help?
So, don't be creepy.
He's like the rest of those cats. Like, how you can be the biggest person in the world at whatever you do and then can't get no pussy.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have. Here's what Bill should have done. He should have, if you want to step out, he's got to discuss that with his wife and be like, hey, like, we're not really, doing it as much. I'm kind of the most powerful and richest man on the earth. And I don't know. I just like to play around a little bit. And if she wasn't cool with it, then just give her a bunch of money and get divorced. Yeah.
I think he did. I think that's kind of what they did.
That might be what ultimately happened.
Yeah. I mean, and they were doing it like that for a long.
Well, he went on vacation with somebody
An
else.
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah, every year. Like that was like so it's one of those things that I think it's probably it could be close to what we were talking about, like where it's like he thought he had a hall pass, and but like there was probably some type of stipulation, or they just never discussed it more past that person.
Yeah,
and like he just assumed like, oh, it's gonna be. It's kind of fine.
I think
he's like trying to negotiate. He's like, is there any way I can have a hall pass for everyone that has less money than me?
I think what you're probably gonna find out is that Melinda has a new person that she wants to be spending time with.
It's either
John Mulaney,
right? It's either that or Melinda went, you know what? I'm still young enough that I can get somebody and we can have a life. But if I keep going with this shit for another 5 years, I'm going to be alone, and I don't want that.
Right.
So that's why I'm thinking it's going. But,
I love how Perez Hilton this is.
Right?
We've made this very gossipy, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Here's what I think happened.
Yeah. Why not? We might as well weigh in. We had good news from the CDC this past week as well. New mask guidelines. Now, by the way, those are... the mask guidelines are superseded by local rules, regulations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So here in California, things haven't really changed much yet.
Still masking. And until probably June 15th. That's been the date Newsom has been putting out there. New York State, Wednesday, the day this show drops, the audio for this show drops, New York State goes to the CDC guidelines. So that is probably going to be the push forward. But here is the rub, so to speak. If you're fully vaccinated, you got your shots, whether it's the one Johnson & Johnson or the 2 Pfizer or Moderna, and you're 2 weeks past that, you're fully vaccinated, then the CDC says it's okay to go without your mask, to be within 6 feet of other people, inside, outside, wherever you might want to be, except where required by federal, state, local, tribal, or territorial laws. That comes into play when we talk about Ricky Schroeder in a little bit. This sort of came out of nowhere. Yeah, I was surprised.
And what's really weird is, do we follow the science? Now, the CDC follows the science. And as liberals, and I think pretty much everybody in this room would identify as being liberal in most of their thoughts, and at least socially, we're always like, follow the science. This is what the science says. But the CDC came out with this, and I saw a lot of people go, whoa, CDC, you're moving too fast for me.
Yeah.
And I get that. There's no harm in being more cautious.
Right. And it kind of came out of nowhere. That was the only thing with me. I was like, oh, this seems so sudden. But, I've seen so many friends post on social media and stuff where they're, for a year straight, they've been like, you have to listen to what the CDC says. CDC is following the science. Listen to the recommendations. And then they're like, you could probably take your mask off. Everybody's like, oh, wait a second. I'm not listening to the CDC.
Right.
I'm like, well, no. When it's good news, you don't listen. Like, I don't get it.
I don't like good news.
Some of it is because so many assholes, are not getting vaccinated.
Right. That is true. There's a lot of those.
Like I heard a guy say Friday, I identify as vaccinated.
Oh, well, and there you go. That's going to be a hard time.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
He's putting hard times on his baby.
or if you're like Nate or I and you have kids, like the kids aren't going to be vaccinated fully if they're over 2
Right.
until September, hopefully, if everything goes the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
So like how am I supposed to get my 2 or 4 year old to wear a mask if I'm not wearing one?
Right.
Like,
Daddy, you're not doing it.
yeah, I mean, because my daughter like will take off her mask when she sees other people take off a mask, or if she sees me take off the mask, she takes it off, and then she won't put it up. Then she throws like if my 2-year-old just throws a fit. She's like, I'm not. Fuck you, Dad.
Jason had to stop watching Fox News altogether.
I didn't realize your kids were such anti-maskers.
Yeah, my kid is, dude.
Totally.
And then you got to
She
have
voted for Trump last election.
They don't believe in they don't believe in the science behind the vaccines.
And then you got to have some people that are just going to keep wearing them because I know for me, when I'm outside with the dog, it helps me with the allergy stuff. So.
Yeah, and here's the thing: people want to wear their mask. That's rad.
Yeah.
Go for it. Why do I give a shit?
Yeah.
I don't care. That's awesome.
Yeah, have that.
And I will certain places, and even when it's like, oh, take it off, I'll be like, I don't know. This seems a little close. I don't know. I can see myself always having a mask in my pocket ready to go.
Yeah.
It's
I definitely can see that you have that Trump hat. I definitely know that you're not
You're not
vaccinated.
vaccinated.
Here's my mask.
have it tucked into like the inside of the hat.
Yeah.
Just right inside. Just pull it down. Boom. Good to go. Good to go. Somebody who isn't about it is Ricky Schroeder. Now, I will remind
He's
people.
probably heard that said about himself so many times.
Right? I will remind people that Ricky Schroeder became famous on a show called Silver Spoons, which sort of comes into play ironically in how this sort of works itself out. Ricky went to the Costco in the LA area and wanted to get inside, and didn't go well.
My name is Jason.
And who are you? What do you do here?
I'm a supervisor, front-end supervisor.
And why aren't you letting me in?
Because in the state of California and the county of Los Angeles, there has been and Costco, there's been no change
Yes,
to our
there has
mask policy.
been.
Not in the state of California or in the county of
Didn't you
South
see the
Los
news?
Angeles.
You didn't see the news. Nationwide Costco that said you don't need to wear a mask.
Actually, that's not accurate.
What is accurate?
What a dick.
Yeah.
What a dick.
I say that's not accurate, and it's completely inaccurate.
He's badgering Jason. Who wants to badger Jason? I mean, imagine being such an asshole that you're going to make a scene outside of the Costco like this.
Oh, yeah.
So what is accurate is that Costco always goes above and beyond when following the law. And the mandate in California has not changed. There does seem to be the possibility that in June, by mid-June, that's a date that California, I know,
If they allow us, if they grant us that, our kings, the people in power, you're going to listen to these people?
Well, I know
they've destroyed our economy.
Well,
they're
so they're
destroying our
evaluating.
culture. They're destroying.
Our $100 billion surplus in the state of California really shows that they broke.
It's destroying us.
They destroyed.
They're destroying us.
They destroyed.
Also, I love how he went full QAnon there.
Yeah, 100%.
God.
He's wearing a cap with the police blue line flag on.
Oh yeah,
by
but
the
I'm
way.
sure you had no problem with the Capitol, right?
I mean, he was an NYPD blue, so I mean, I guess was that the unofficial
and
hat?
then, like when it ended, right?
It
didn't last too much longer after he got onto it.
I forget where he felt. I thought he was fine in the show
Yeah,
when I saw it, but he certainly wasn't the one carrying the episode.
No.
He's not.
I mean, I think he came in and it was already on the way down.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was after Dave.
after Jimmy Smits.
Yeah, after Jimmy Smits. Yeah.
So he would have been the third one.
Yeah.
State,
I see.
and you're just going to listen to their rules.
Well,
Yes.
what we are going to do is
Yes, we are. We're going to listen to the rules and the laws
What-
that are elected officials.
Can you imagine Jason? He's just like, goes out. California mandates. I know what Costco is officially telling us. We're not going to do it. Fuck it. We're all going to go without masks. All the customers go out. You know how fucking fast Jason is fired.
Right? Right? Jason doesn't make it to lunch.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They follow the guidelines.
Okay. I'm getting my refund. I'm getting my refund from Costco. I suggest everybody in California get their refund from Costco. Give up your membership to Costco until they remove this.
Okay, well, this hasn't changed in any building in California, in any company.
So,
that
how
I'm
many
aware of.
buildings
The
have you
places I
been to?
shop still
Okay.
require masks. But that's not the point. The point is Costco is simply abiding by the law, and that's the law.
There's my refund. You're the manager?
I'm the manager.
Okay, I'm suggesting everybody in California get a refund from Costco until this rule is lifted. Thank you.
Wait. No, if you're gonna quit Costco, fucking quit Costco.
Yeah, quit Costco,
Don't
dude.
say until this shit's quit.
Look, Ricky wants.
No, quit fucking Costco.
Look, Ricky wants to get a prorated refund on his $65 yearly membership.
Yeah.
And you're not going to stop him. He's going to get that $12.38 he's owed back on that membership.
You don't think he has the $129 one?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
They should not. Look,
He does.
they should say, okay, Ricky, you can have your membership back. Don't you bring your ass back in here, period.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Don't
Like,
send your
they have
wife.
they have a
Don't send
picture of
your
him.
maid.
Right.
Every Costco has a picture of him right by the front door where they check your ID.
His card won't scan anymore.
No, I'm sorry, Ricky, you're not allowed in here.
It's a screenshot from the video.
Yep, it's got a picture from Silver Spoons and a current one and anything in between.
He looks like anything like these two men.
Yeah, it's like an evolution of man diagram, but with Ricky Schroeder.
Matter of fact, anybody who has a last name Schroeder can't come to Costco anymore.
Oh,
We
shit.
just need to protect ourselves from all the people that are quitting us.
All the
Cancel
Schroeders.
culture. Cancel culture.
Oh, man.
Cancel culture. Cancel
He
culture.
tried to cancel Jason. Some tells me Jason's getting a raise. I think he behaved very professionally.
Yeah.
Kept his cool. Wasn't all whatever fucking.
The manager was more of a dick. Like, was like, you're like, and Costco. You heard him like, and Costco.
I think it was just. I don't think that was the manager. I think that was just the other lady
was
at the
that
door
just
who's like, "Can you show me your card?" That lady. She's like, "And Costco."
Yeah.
Tell this guy to fuck off. I have to deal with these people all the time. By the way, everybody who feels that way really should stop going to Costco. I would welcome that.
Yeah, please do.
By the way, I go to Costco in Woodland, California. Hardly the cradle of liberal California. There's plenty of people with very conservative values that live in Woodland and shop in Woodland. I've never had an issue there. No. Not once.
I love that Ricky Schroeder's two most famous moments are him crying about something. he cried in the Champ when his papa wouldn't wake up, and then now he's crying about Costco not letting him in with a mask. Give me a fucking break.
Talking of the vaccines and the new government, I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I saw someone posting about how why didn't Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer and Moderna do animal tests? Why didn't they do animal tests? I don't feel comfortable with the vaccines because they didn't do animal tests. Here's the problem with that. They did.
Don't let your facts get in the way with my information from a guy on Facebook or OAN.
Yeah, they did. They did them concurrently with all of the other tests. So that's why it didn't take as long. Yeah. So when I shared this AP article, I found the least possibly slanted news source for this story that I could, the Associated Press. They don't have an opinion about anything. I shared it. I said, short answer, they did test on animals. If you want the details, here's the article.
Right.
And the response was, well, I don't disrespect anybody who got the vaccine. Like my parents got it and my brother got it, but, I just don't feel comfortable getting it. And I just want to say to this person, who I will not name, and other people who share the same viewpoint, I'm not comfortable with you anywhere around the rest of us.
Right.
So don't get vaccinated if you don't want to, but don't turn into Ricky Schroeder and cry when you're not allowed to go to the Kings game or the Warriors game or the Giants game. If everybody's like, hey, were you vaccinated? Oh, you weren't? Oh, sorry.
And Chris Rock made a great point on the Breakfast Club this morning. What the fuck do you ingest that you actually know what the fuck's in it?
Right. Almost nothing.
Carbonated water, caramel color, phosphoric acid, aspartame, sodium benzoate. That's a preservative. Caffeine.
That's a preservative.
There's dick in my drink.
It's parenthetical on here. It's preservative. And a few other things in here.
Wait, yeah, it says soda water on here and dick.
This one says,
weird.
It's like you ate some Fruity Pebbles this morning. You have no idea what the fuck is in those Fruity Pebbles.
No.
you know what I know it's not? The COVID vaccine.
Yeah.
But if it was, I would eat the shit out
I
of it.
would drink it every day.
Yeah, it's no dick in the COVID vaccine at all. I mean, that's.
Unless you want some dick, then yeah, there's plenty of.
I mean, if that's what you want, have that all the dick you like,
That's the most dicks on that Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
There's at least 2.
right? Absolutely.
Dicks do cause blood clots, I've heard.
Oh,
I don't know if that's science.
could be.
Ricky Schroeder.
He's done.
He was linked to an OAN website.
Yes.
Or Washington Examiner. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Extensive research done on the dicks. Meanwhile, speaking of dicks, people across the country took to the streets this past weekend to protest the pandemic and how federal and state governments have handled it so far. We go now to the capital of my home state of Vermont for this group of assholes.
Taking to the streets today to protest the pandemic and how federal and state governments have handled it. Channel 3's Aaron Brown takes us to the one in Montpelier.
Discrimination against people who are unvaccinated will not be tolerated in Vermont.
Unmasked and unvaccinated Vermonters are challenging.
Discrimination against people who have not been vaccinated will not be tolerated.
The Biden and Scott administrations claiming their COVID mandates violated their constitutional rights and civil liberties. They say they don't believe the stay-at-home orders and quarantine guidelines were
I like how the reporter left that long breath in there.
No.
appropriate, given the fact that the virus has a 1% mortality rate in Vermont.
There was never any reason to quarantine healthy people in America, ever. To treat everybody like they have leprosy is beyond bizarre.
The group also thinks it was governmental overreach to close businesses, houses of worship, and schools, considering the low infection rates for young people.
It's shocking. And these kids are, a lot of them, the inner.
Oh, now they're concerned.
You
Now
live in Vermont, dude. There is no inner cities in Vermont.
And now he's concerned. I'm sure that he's always concerned about this.
He's very, very concerned. By the way, if you dropped Redding, California in Vermont, it would easily be the largest city.
Yeah, Vermont is tiny.
It really is.
How the fuck did y'all take over the world?
Dude, that's a good question. I have no fucking idea.
You
Why
know,
people are so dumb.
I mean, it has to do with the climate in the Mediterranean.
Well, it's the power of confidence and believing you can, my friend. That's where it all happens.
Oh my God.
How the fuck did y'all take over the world?
Yeah, just blame the Roman Empire, bud.
Mm-hmm.
I say shit like this, and I'm like, what the fuck were we doing?
I'm a different type of white person. I'm just like, oh, if you would leave me in the middle of like somewhere and there's like, here's people, lead them, I'd be like, can I pass? Like, I will be a follower.
I'm seriously, I like when I see shit like this, like, what the fuck were we doing? How the fuck did we let these motherfuckers take over?
Yeah, it's we are the scourge on society right now. Like, white people are the fucking worst. Like, I'm white as fuck, and it's like I'll deal with people, and I'll be like, fucking white people.
Yeah.
Fucking white people.
Yeah, welcome to Jason's world.
Like I said, I just see shit like this. Like, how the fuck did that happen?
Well, let's finish this up then.
They're done. There's no way they're going to get back on track. And so it's going to be a generational impact on our society and maybe permanent.
Protesters also...
Really? They did distance learning for a year and we're never going to catch up?
And you fucks already forgot about 1918, so what's going to happen in 100 years?
So say vaccine passports are unconstitutional. One man is even suing Governor Phil Scott.
What Phil Scott thinks he's doing with that is really scary. I think he's just taking orders. But the idea that you segregate a population based on an experimental vaccine that in some cases is killing people.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Phil, what are you doing?
Phil.
Wait. Phil. So you have the same probability of dying from the disease as you do from the vaccine. But
Except you don't. That's not even remotely true.
That's
the problem.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's your thought process.
Yeah.
Is that you have the same probability to die from the vaccine as you do from the disease.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nutty, right?
Yes.
It's absolutely
That
nutty.
is the thought process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this dude is, and this guy's very Phil.
Well, if you were to cast him in a 60s Western, he would be the crazy drunken prospector.
Okay.
That's exactly what he looked like. That's exactly what he looked like. So this week, Liz Cheney lost her position in the House of Representatives within the Republican Party. She still got her seat.
Right.
And she went on ABC on Sunday to remind everybody who is not conservative that she is, in fact, still fucking awful.
Did you vote for Donald Trump in 2020?
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Look, I think that
how could you not regret that vote given what's happened?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was never going to support Joe Biden.
Fuck you, Liz Cheney.
Yeah.
You stupid bitch. I wanted to be on your side for one fucking thing, and you just couldn't have it. Not even for a fucking week could I root for Liz Cheney in the smallest fucking way.
White women, am I right, Kareem?
Oh my God.
Dude, I never liked Liz Cheney, and I did not get swayed at all by this 2-week period of the moonlight shining just so upon her. And that just confirms. I was like,
Why
no.
did you do that, Karen?
Accomplices, not victims.
I just a couple days, and I know who Liz Cheney is. I wasn't like, oh, Liz Cheney's the best. I just want to be like, good, somebody's finally standing up.
Right.
And you throw her the biggest fucking softball. You voted for Donald Trump. Do you regret that? Well, I wasn't going to support Joe Biden.
I was never
going to do that.
All she had to say was, yep,
here's
every
the deal.
fucking day I regret that.
People, the Republicans that were going to jump off the fucking train, they all work on MSNBC right now.
Right.
Yeah. Or the Lincoln Project. Hey, good news for Jared and Ivanka. They finished up their 4 years unpaid at the White House, but they still made $640 million in that time.
Oh, wow.
Right? That comes from citizensforethics.org.
Well, you know that he wasn't in the Middle East solving the Palestine-Israel project, so, he was getting money from Saudi Arabia and all those other countries. So now we know $640 million went to.
They reported between $172 million and $640 million in outside income in the 4 years that they were at the White House. That's what they reported.
Right.
Yeah.
How much are they not reporting?
Oh, that's good. Check Panama.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Also, it's a huge gap. They're like,
Right?
they made between $1 and $700 million.
Yeah.
I tried filing my taxes like that last year.
You end up audited after. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm actually going to jail next week.
That's my last step, guys.
Yeah, by the way, Joe Biden, where's my fucking tax refund? We filed 2.5 months ago. I want my money.
Oh, man, is it taking that long? Yeah. I got mine. Mine took a minute, but I was like...
Our state tax, we got our state refund in literally less than a week.
Yeah,
I was like, boom, here it is. Great.
But yeah, my federal it took a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. That's fine.
Did you get your thing that you had to vote for Newsom too, when you got your check from the state?
No, I just got direct deposit, and if I got a stub, I tossed it probably.
Yeah.
I don't need this important tax document.
Oh, my God. If I have to see John Cox's ad one more time, where he talks about how he's the smartest beast, it's like, you're not, dude.
I mean, we want a man, not a beast. I don't know about you, but
I'm the smartest beast. He's really the Marvel universe. He's really trying to market it.
We talked about it last week on the show. We talked about it last week on the show too. He was really disappointed that the bear that he brought got all the attention when he had all these great things to say.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he's that dumb.
He's like, we should have put that bear down immediately.
Johnny, do you have any dates coming up in Ohio?
Nothing in Ohio right now.
Okay. Ohio, I like to refer to that as the Florida of the North or cold Florida. Headline, woman busted for ground beef battery.
Ooh.
Yeah, responding to a report of disturbance at a potato chip aisle of a Walmart in Ohio. It's oddly specific.
They're all the potato chip aisle.
Yep. A Cleveland woman was arrested for allegedly striking a female victim in the face with a 10-pound log of ground beef.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's one of them logs.
There's logs, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
man.
I get the 3-pound logs because then you have 1.5 pounds.
There you go.
Put one in the freezer.
10-pound log.
Take another one.
10 pounds is just too much, man.
That's a fucking big pound, dude. She's a size queen.
That's like 3 feet too, man. It's like bigger than my fucking kid.
Right?
Where'd they find that? Where do they keep that log? It's got its own freezer down the way.
I would have thought Sam's Club for something that big, but no, right at the Walmart in South Euclid, which is a suburb of Cleveland. The two women, Monica Gardner and Precious Jackson, who once lived in the same duplex, got into it. Jackson, who's 36, was battered with the ground beef, and she had previously secured a protection order against the 25-year-old Garner.
Oh, damn. So they're like rivals.
Yes.
They show up to the Walmart.
Somebody was fucking somebody's baby daddy.
Yeah. show up to the Walmart and it's like, oh, it's you.
Yes.
Now, according to police...
On site, bitch. On site.
When the pair spotted each other, Garner threatened to beat up Jackson as well as her 7-year-old daughter who was with her in the Walmart. Garner, cops say, pulled down Jackson's mask and attempted to spit on her. When she missed, Garner reached into Jackson's shopping cart and removed the prepackaged meat log, which she then used to strike the face. She got hit with her own meat.
She beat her with her own meat.
I hate it when I get beat with my own meat.
Beat her with her very own sausage.
Damn. Oh, man. I used to love that.
In the weapons used section of the South Euclid Police Department report, that's a section. The ground beef is described as the blunt object.
Yeah.
It wasn't sharp.
It was not sharp.
No. If you're wondering, it retails for around $22 for that.
That's a lot of meat.
Yeah, it sure is.
You make a lot of hamburgers with that. A lot of hamburger helper.
Yeah, that was a 4th of July party. What's
Boy,
going on?
you have to use like a paella pan.
That is so much meat.
By the way, Garner, who was shopping with her 5-year-old, was arrested for assault and violating a temporary protective order. So there's a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old in on this whole thing.
Just grab one of them.
7-year-old is like, do it, Mom.
Yeah. You could have grabbed the 5-year-old. It's probably as big as that fucking log of meat.
Yep. Swing her around. According to police, Garner has a history of violent behavior and is the subject of multiple active arrest warrants. She pleaded not guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges during her arraignment in court. So we will keep an eye on that one. That's one of those follow-up stories that we'll get to in a little bit.
I'm surprised she couldn't stop her from getting the meat. You know, like you reach into the cart. That's a big, that's a big ass piece of meat.
Maybe she still had her hand.
Well, remember, she pulled down her mask and tried to spit in her face. And so when she tried to spit in her face, she ducked that, grabbed the meat, and whack.
Wow.
She knew, man.
Fucking
Yeah.
American Gladiators.
That's some serious shit going on.
She
right
shouldn't have
there.
gotten arrested for that shit.
Oh,
Right.
Kind of
Florida, land of enchantment and crazy shit. This is Florida Corner.
I'm just going to keep this one to the headline because I think it's all we need. Bikini-clad Florida woman claims cops were called by someone jealous that her body looked good.
That's the headline?
That is the headline.
Fuck yeah,
that is the
dude.
headline in clickorlando.com.
That sounds like a Hard Times headline.
Right? That's Channel 6. That's broadcast TV. Yeah.
Wow, that's such a long run-on sentence, too. It's like she was jealous because her body looked better than hers. And, you know, she'd been working out a lot. And the other girl had not been working out, and that's why she's mad.
Well, this is a 42-year-old lady who claims she looked great, and that's why the cops were called. Moving on. Not spending any more time on it.
911. This chick's body's hot. It's making me mad.
Exactly. Also in Florida, angered over losing nearly $400 playing slot machines.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've had some dark times.
A Florida woman told police she phoned in a bomb threat to a Tampa casino because she wanted to blow off steam.
That's such a weird way to do it. Just call it a bomb threat. You're all, oh, that was exhilarating. Fuck. That stress has disappeared.
Okay, it gets better, though. Okay? Her name's Adele Belzier. She's 54. She used her cell phone to call the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tuesday evening to claim, quote, "I left a bomb in your casino." She phoned in the threat while in her room at a Clearwater Beach hotel. She's a member of the Hard Rock Players Club rewards program, so her phone number was in the casino records, which is how they tracked her down.
That's amazing. That's,
oh my God.
That's so dumb.
Oh man, I feel like I should not have said that I spent $400 on slot machines ever, because that definitely puts me in the same category. Like I should have been playing some poker or something.
Yeah.
I was playing video poker.
Sure, it was fake money. She noted that she has anger issues.
Oh, clearly.
There you go. She's pleaded not guilty to the felony charge.
Man. I sometimes have anger issues, especially in this last year.
Yeah.
But like, I've never called in a bomb somewhere.
Right. Oh my God, I haven't had a particularly rough day.
Brian, I left a bomb inside the comedy spot.
Like, why'd you do that? Just blowing off some steam.
Nate, I left a bomb under your desk and your honey, I left a bomb underneath the kitchen.
Just blowing off
steam.
Just blowing off some steam, guys.
I love how they tracked her down too.
Oh, the best.
That's why we need to bring back payphones.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't even bother to do it like in one of the hotel phones.
She's Why didn't she text it over? Joanna.
She should have thrown out a paper airplane.
Yeah.
Just like, there's a bomb in here.
So bomb emoji.
Facebook threat. Facebook threat.
She poked, and then she put a bomb emoji.
All right. So I want to salute Chuck Todd, and I don't normally do this because Chuck Todd is very mediocre at his job. Chuck Todd reminded America that Dan Crenshaw from Texas is an asshole.
In December, I know how you voted.
Everything I've ever said.
I understand that, but in December, you signed on to that lawsuit that the Texas Attorney General filed to question the elections of other states, which seem to be a pretty anti-federalist thing to do. Why did you sign on to that?
Painted that as, and you guys in the press, because you guys in the press painted that as some extreme action, and of course it wasn't. That amicus brief was a simple question to the Supreme Court and saying, can you please speak to this question of whether process changes in the election last minute, not approved by the legislature, can be deemed constitutional? It was a question. Now they didn't want to answer that question, and I said it's unconstitutional for us to overturn the election in Congress. So I did not vote.
You don't feel like you fed, but this is the issue that many people have, is that you're sitting here trying to say, no, I just had a specific question. Yet what you did gets weaponized by the former president. Did you see the rantings of him yesterday? And to the point where a Republican official in Maricopa County called the former president unhinged. I understand you guys want to put this behind you, but Chuck, he is the leader of your party, and he doesn't stop talking about this nonsense.
Chuck, he's one of many leaders in the party. He's a former president. We're 5 months into President Biden's presidency.
No, we're not. January 20th to May 16th is not quite four months.
3.5 months.
Yeah, not quite 4 months, Dan. Not quite 4.
And there is a time to move on. And look, you guys in the press love doing this, and I get it, right? The press is largely liberal. They're largely pro-Democrat.
No, don't start that. That is the late look. There's nothing lazier. There's nothing lazier than that.
There's a lot of reasoning to keep this alive.
I understand what you're trying to appease.
There's a lot of people in my party that take the bait. I'm not going to take the bait here.
Is he saying he's not going to debate, or he's not going
take the bait? He's not going to take the bait.
Oh, okay. Or debate,
because he got called out. He got called out for saying, because that's what they do. They go, liberal media. Yeah, don't pay any attention to what they said. Liberal media. Yeah. So fuck Dan Crenshaw.
Oh yeah, that guy. What a smug fuck too.
I hope a bird poops in his other eye.
Me too. Bird poop.
Oh, I've read 6 articles in the last year on The Guardian. Oh God. What's going on? All right. So we are almost the end of our show. Johnny, before we wrap up the show, once again, your podcast is
called Hipsterocracy. It's on the Hard Times Network. I also have a new web series called The Nonfiction, where I'm riffing on. I've had a lot of great guests on. I would talk to Vice's QAnon, The Search for Q, the producers of that. We had the Good Liars on. If anybody knows the Good Liars, amazing. Fucking guerrilla reporting, satirist. And then and I had the James Austin Johnson, who's the best Trump impressionist of all time, where we have a little bit of banter. So yeah, the nonfiction on YouTube, check it out.
Nice. Nice. And of course, around the country all summer long on tour.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter and or Instagram, and I'll always be posting my dates. So.
I think that's where he's funniest is on Twitter, so just subscribe to that.
I'm very funny on Twitter. I'm amazing on Twitter. Don't even worry about coming to see me live. I'm better in 140 characters.
Yeah, go on Twitter where he gets nothing for it, Jason. It's a good idea. Don't buy his comedy albums either.
Nope, don't watch his specials.
Don't listen to him on Spotify where he gets half a cent for every 30 streams.
I wish I got half a cent for 30 streams. Jesus Christ. I might have actually made a couple $100 by now.
No, I love Johnny, man.
Yes.
Oh no, it's so good to be here amongst friends. It's so good just to hang out with fucking people. To be honest,
they don't have to worry about whether or not.
Right.
My favorite moment recently. You got into a bit of a feud with former Giant Aubrey Huff.
Yeah, that guy fucking hates me.
He's an asshole. So I mean, there's
You're
that.
lucky.
Yeah. No, I hate him too. So.
And then I found out he's on Cameo. And I thought for a moment, because it was right around the time Johnny did his first stand-up gig, and it was outdoors at the Sacramento Comedy Spot. And I thought, maybe I could get Aubrey Huff on Cameo to congratulate Johnny, because he's clearly not that smart. He's not going to realize.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I would post that and it would go viral.
We should.
And then I'm like, I would rather slam my dick in my car door than give Aubrey Huff $100.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
But I did message Johnny that, so that was...
Yeah, that guy's such a piece of shit. And this is multiple times now we've gone back and forth on Twitter about something completely moronic that guy's so dumb.
He really is.
He's an idiot.
Yeah. Well, he did make the rally thong thing.
Yeah, he did.
Briefly. It's really great that he was the 12th best player on the Giants teams
for years.
Good for him. I appreciate all of that. All right, I couldn't find any good small town news this week, so
they don't exist anymore. They're all gone.
Well, it's nothing great. Well, the best I did get that report out of Vermont, but I did find some sex toy news.
Oh, yes.
Okay. We'll wrap this up. Headline: WW2 bomb found in Bavarian forest was a sex toy.
Yeah. They should know because it just said the bomb.
The pandemic's over, y'all.
A German police bomb squad called to investigate a suspected hand grenade in a Bavarian forest has revealed the object was in fact a rubber sex toy.
Nice.
A jogger reported finding a bag containing the device on Monday.
Oh my.
In a forest outside the city of Passau, near Germany's borders with Austria and the Czech Republic. The discovery of forgotten or hidden munitions is a regular occurrence in Germany, almost 75 years after the end of World War II. When the bomb squad arrived, though, and looked at the contents of the bag, they determined it was, in fact, a rubber grenade replica.
Oh.
Hint, found on the scene, the condoms and lubricant in the bag. Kind of helped them figure out what the intended use was for, according to the German news agency DPA. An internet search confirmed the suspicion. Police said there are actually sex toys in the forms of hand grenades.
Oh, man.
Okay. Yeah, because you want that pussy to blow up.
Can you imagine getting on the scene and being like, they want to make this grenade slippery for some reason.
Jason, I hate to break it to you, but I'm pretty sure the vagina is not where that's intended to go.
Well, then,
Gonna make that bottom.
That
make that ass blow up.
All right, I'm gonna go full Perez Hilton here. That whole thing, someone bought that, got really kinky with it, and either tried it once and went, "Oh God, I can't let anybody find out about this."
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
ditched it in the forest.
We've all done that.
Why is porn always ditched in the forest? It always is. Why is that?
I mean, back in the day when it was just magazines, that's where everybody got their porn.
That's so weird.
In the middle of the forest.
So, did you go to Pornhub? No, I just went out to the forest.
Can you imagine the officer having to explain it to his boss, though, too? Like, why during work hours, you were at the sex toy site looking at this shit. What's going on? It was for a case, I swear. No, this is the third time it's happened.
You're constantly looking for grenades.
What have you been searching at your desk? The IT guy at the German police department's like, whatever.
Your patrol is not the forest, all right? I'm not going to tell you this again. It's not. You don't just walk around the forest looking.
So I'm working on the forest beat right now.
See, that's why they rake the forests in Europe. Trump didn't hip us to that.
Yeah.
They're looking for grenade-shaped butt plugs.
You know what? Maybe we should suggest a 10-pound tube of hamburger meat for the next
yes.
booth.
Yes, we found a 10-pound.
It's
log.
from America.
I like that they called it a beef log.
Yeah.
They probably don't have that in Germany, right? They can't. That's an American thing.
Oh
right?
yeah, definitely not 10 pounds.
10-pound worst.
Yeah.
It's a 10-pound worst. All right. We're going to leave it there. Thank you, Johnny Taylor Jr., for taking some time out and spending time with us. And if people want to find you, obviously Twitter, do you have a website you want to plug?
At Hipsterocracy on everything, and then hipsterocracy.com. You can find all my shit.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Don't be an asshole, and we will see you next week.
Darling New Media, here to help you tell your story.